This is the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Kick back and hang with your hosts, Kayode, Lewis, and Joel. Let's mark out.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to episode 143 of On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. We are back. The producer, the AEW shill himself, and the administrator are in the house repping the Danhausen Knicks shirt. Look at that. Just out of the bag. Lewis just put that on. He literally just put that on. Lou, I like the shirt, man. But I also like this dynamic of the two New York teams. You got a Mets and a Yankees hat on. This is interesting. Two different teams going. Joel, I thought you were a Yankee fan.
Nah, man. Born and raised in Queens, so I got to represent, even though they suck.
Yeah, man. Gave you the thumbs down. Fellas, listen, man. It's episode 143 of On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. And listen, we've had a lot of stuff go down since we've met. SummerSlam is officially in the books. And the Raw after SummerSlam officially in the books. Who knew that would be a big show? But it was a big show. Fellas, we got to get to some letter grades, some thoughts. We got to talk about everything. And now I told Lewis before the show started this now that Joel, my letter grade has changed. Has changed.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it's for the best. But we'll talk about it on episode 143. Fellas, let's get into some SummerSlam Minneapolis recap talks. All right. We got to talk about this. And real quick, fellas, night one and night two were extremely different in a lot of different ways. Night one, plainly, night one was just, what do you call it?
That's basura, man.
Yes. Night one was just basura. It was trash. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if that was on purpose. On paper, it looked like the bigger card with the bigger names and all that good stuff, but the execution and everything just kind of fell flat. I'm sick of these WWE fans, bro. These new fans that just started watching 4 weeks ago. I'm tired of these new age fans not knowing pro wrestling and just cheering for this stuff. It's sad that they don't know what the old stuff looked like or can't even go back or refuse to go back 15, 20 years to see what crowds were like, to see what wrestling was like in that ring in WWE. And now they're only cheering because of theme songs, because of a false finish, a pin or whatever, move sets. They're just cheering for that, but they're not really invested in any of the wrestlers, the characters, they're just not invested in that anymore. So that kind of took me out of it. Plus, WWE, we got to talk about it. They sold around 33,000 ish, in a place that seats about 55,000 plus. That's a problem. They had to tarp out some areas. I saw some videos from for some fans out in the stadium. They had to tarp out a couple spots. But so night one was just, it didn't hit for me. But night two, though, I love the way it started. Aldis came out in that terrible suit he wore, and he came out, added a couple additions to the Sami Zayn match. Kevin Owens makes a triumphant return. It was just overall a better show in terms of excitement level. But still, the matches were okay. Like, they were just okay. Like, they didn't, they were like 12 minute, 10-minute, 8-minute matches. But I did score night two higher because of the Roman and oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Roman
Seth.
Seth, yeah, Roman and Seth match. which again for WWE, extremely formulaic, but massive amounts of storytelling, some decent spots. For WWE and Roman Reigns, what he does best is he makes very little look very good. And Seth is just a ring general. He makes everything look good, and he can flow with anybody. So that one scored a little higher. So overall, fellas, my letter grade for both nights is at a solid C plus. It's a C plus, event. I couldn't give it any higher. It just, again, it's just too formulaic, and it's WWE formulaic, which means they're at medium speed, and it's just not that exciting for me, man. Am I the only one, fella? Where y'all at with this year's SummerSlam recap? Joel, the AEW shill himself. What are your thoughts, bro?
I might have to change my gimmick again because I actually graded SummerSlam a little higher than you. I think night one, I agree. Night one was pretty bad, pretty boring, lackluster. I wasn't really a fan of the CM Punk Cody Rhodes match. It was very sloppy to me. I mean, I get that they were trying to tell the story of like a fight, but it just felt like it felt so slow and methodical that like I don't understand how they were expecting anyone to not just like tune out during that match. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I'm not the biggest Cody fan. I'm not the biggest Punk fan either. So like it kind of was just like I don't really care about these two guys. And comparing it to like Punk's match against Roman at WrestleMania, like I think he had a better dance partner there. I think Cody is kind of getting exposed recently. Like he's not that great at these main event matches, man. Like when is the last classic Cody match that we could like WrestleMania 40, right? Like I think that's the last, and that's because it had the run-ins of The Rock and Rollins and Undertaker and Bloodline and like all these extra things to make it like an actual good match. I guess you could say the match with him and Cena at SummerSlam last year was okay as well, but I think what's bothering me about WWE main event matches recently is that they've all kind of follow the same formula, where it's just like finisher spam, a bunch of you do my finisher, I do your finisher. There's no like real like surprises anymore during these matches. It's not like no one pulls out like a new move. It's just like they just go through the motions. And once you've seen one Roman Reigns or one Cody Rhodes match, it feels like you kind of seen them all. So like at the end of the day, I will say night one was not for me. I am glad that Oba Femi went over in the main event. I thought that was really cool. And having Oba Femi main event big pay-per-view this early in his career, I think that means like they really are giving him the ball, which is awesome. You don't tend to see WWE do that with their young stars, so that's really cool. But when it comes to the rest of the matches on night one, I could have done without it. Night two, on the other hand, though, I do agree like it was a lot better, from the beginning with Kevin Owens returning. You had the Chelsea Green win, you had the Chad Gable win. And then the Roman Seth match, while it wasn't really my cup of tea for match style, it was way better than the main event on Saturday. So I Roman and Seth, I feel like I don't have the same like fanfare that like the people that like grew up during the Shield era. Like I watched during the Shield era, but I wasn't growing up during that Shield era. I was already like an adult. So it didn't seem like, like this big, like it kind of felt like they've been rehashing that story so many times. So, and like the whole thing with the chair is so funny to me. Like, I think I mentioned it in the last episode, like, bro, just go to therapy. Like,
man.
12 years of you having to deal with this damn chair that backstabbed you. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal, bro. People get hit with chairs. Right? Literally in every single wrestling show, someone gets hit with a chair. Like, why is it such a big deal that this guy hit you with a chair? Like, get over it. But it's funny. Like, I think what I realized watching SummerSlam though is that we as fans need to realize that wrestling is like the least important thing in WWE. Everything else comes first. And I think once you realize that, it kind of lets you grade it like on a curve almost, Where it's like, yeah, the wrestling's not going to be as good as AEW. There's no way. Even if they gave them all the time and all the freedom, they just aren't the same type of wrestlers. They're not the same type of roster. Like WWE is very formulaic. They go by the less is more mentality. They don't want you doing 450 splashes and super kicks and Canadian destroyers and all this. They don't want you doing any of that stuff. They want you to stick to your 5 moves and pace it out, lay on the mat for a long time, lay in the mat with 3 minutes in between false finishes. They just, they go by the books. And once you realize, like, okay, what their brand of wrestling is mostly how do we force feed a story to people instead of with AEW, where it's like, we're going to tell you a story, but you have to kind of pay attention in order to actually understand it. I think WWE is almost like, it's become almost like a second screen experience, where it's like they expect you to be like on your phone while you watch it, or they expect you to like barely pay attention while you watch it. So they really like hone in on things. So like when Rollins and Roman, instead of telling the story throughout the match, they literally pause the whole match and zoom in on them as they speak to each other in the middle of the ring. And
all of a sudden the mics work. That you can hear now.
And WWE fans love this shit. They love it. So like they say, oh my God, what a great match. Great storytelling. To me, on my hand, I feel like that's very forced storytelling. Like if I was watching any other TV show and they were like, this is the story we're trying to tell you, I would be like, all right, I get it. But for WWE fans, this is what they like. So I understand that now a little better after watching SummerSlam. And I'm like, okay, overall, when I take that all into consideration, and I'm like, I'm trying to not grade it as the same level as I would an AEW pay-per-view. Because if this was an AEW pay-per-view, we would all be shitting on it. But since this is WWE, I think overall for the weekend, I give it a B, solid B, just because this is the best we're going to get with WWE. We're never going to get 25-minute banger matches in WWE. That's a thing of the past. That's a thing of the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. I don't think we're ever going to see that again, as long as they are making money the way they're making money now. Less is more. They're right. In their eyes, less is more. So why even, risk Roman getting hurt or Cody getting hurt or Punk getting hurt when they could just do a formulaic match? The fans are going to eat it up. And now it's even to the point where fans are there for the entrances. They're there for the finishers. And that's it. They don't care about the match. Yeah, they don't care about the match. They're there for the moments. Exactly, Kayode. And once you realize that it's all about moments, then you could be like, okay, they had some pretty good moments on this show. They had Chelsea Green finally winning the title. They had Chad Gable finally winning the IC title. And then they had the end of the Shield for now. So I understand, like, if you're going to rank it based on moments, yeah, this is a solid B. I will say some things that threw me off a lot watching this. Thankfully, I watched it on a delay. I watched it the next day, so I didn't have to deal with it. I didn't have to deal with the ads live. But if I was watching it live and not skipping through all the ads, this probably would be a lower score for me. But I was able to skip all the ads, skip all the recaps, and it made it way more enjoyable. And I think that's going forward. I think that's how I'm going to watch all WWE PLEs and even Raw. Like Raw, I watched on like a bit of a delay. So I was able to skip through commercials, skip through all the recap packages. I was like, oh, this is the ideal viewing experience for WWE now. But even then, even if you do that, they still will force the ads on you. And the perfect example is, what the hell was that Chad Gable moment?
Oh, man.
We got to talk about it.
Fucking bloody root beer. Like, what is that?
I thought that was a guy that was going to attack him, and it was like a surprise run-in or something.
Bro, this guy has the emotional moment. He's celebrating with his family. He's celebrating with his wife.
When you think about
his wife, his kids. He do it, and then he has to push them to the side because the root beer guy.
Because the root beer guy. Yeah, that's wild, bro. Yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
He chugs in like some Steve Austin beers. Yo, what are we doing, man? You telling me they couldn't find anywhere else to put that? This is his first singles title win ever.
Yep.
Now it's always going to be tainted with some root beer mascot.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, man.
Terrible.
WWE is hilarious, man. When you really just stop caring about it and just like look at it as just like a product that is like, yo, this shit is just hilarious, bro.
Shit is basura is what it is.
Lou, man, what's your thoughts, man, on this year's SummerSlam, bro?
Look, the two of you just spent 15 minutes giving all of your thoughts, and I couldn't agree more, I guess, because here's the thing. I didn't see SummerSlam live in its entirety. What I was doing, I wasn't able to watch it, but what I was doing was following along on social media and YouTube whenever they would post the highlights of whatever was going on. So I was able to capture all the moments and things like that. Night one seemed very much like I didn't miss much.
Man.
Even with the Hell in a Cell match, I cannot stand when WWE puts a stipulation like Hell in a Cell and they do nothing with it. That is a Hell in a Cell match. For older fans, we know that Hell in a Cell is associated with the culmination of a big rivalry. It's supposed to be violent, all of those things. It's supposed to be barbaric. You're supposed to have blood. And even if you don't have blood, at least make it to where the cell structure has a purpose. There was no purpose. Like what the hell was the purpose of having a cage? I mean, you could have just had both of them go at it in an unsanctioned match. And then he's ripping apart the ring to expose the wood pallets underneath, all for the match to not end on the exposed wooden pallets. Like, please make it make sense to whatever. But it was a nice passing of the torch moment to close out night one. As I was watching some of the highlights of Punk and Cody, I didn't really care for the match to begin with. I wasn't excited at all for it. But seeing Randy Orton back is always cool. We got to appreciate these old guys, the older guys, the older talent, the legends, while we can. Night two definitely seemed like it was a lot better. I'm really mad that I missed that in real time. Very happy for Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Kind of stupid how they're doing the whole interim champion. I feel like if the champion has to relinquish the title and it becomes vacant, that's what it is. When you crown the new champion, it's the new champion. Fuck the interim title. It's stupid. I hate when I'm not a fan of the interim title. I know AEW has done that a couple of times in the past too. I'm not a fan of it. Kevin Owens coming back, that was cool. That was actually a nice surprise because he wasn't on my radar. I don't think he was on anybody's radar.
No.
The main event, I mean, I didn't watch the match in its entirety, but it looked like it was a stellar main event. What you would expect, but it's kind of like what Joel was saying. It's the same old shit with the WWE formula, and you said it perfectly. Once you've seen one Roman Reigns match, you've seen them all. It's usually the same type of sequence, and it ends with like maybe the third or fourth spear before he gets the 3 count. But these fans, they eat it up. Look, I'm wearing a Danhausen shirt only because it's associated with the Knicks. But Dominic Mysterio had no business putting Danhausen eating the pin. Like what? This is dirty Dominic Mysterio, who once upon a time ago was the hottest heel
in the company.
Yep. And this is how you treating Dom? Like,
no
are
respect.
You kidding me? Like, this is outrageous.
No respect, bro.
And something that we got to hit upon, that media scrum or post PLE conference when Triple H was taking shots at all the talent that have been complaining about their spots. And a lot of people are saying that he was, maybe giving strays to Damian Priest. But in any case, he's like, well, for all the talent that is bitching and complaining, not in those words, but he's basically saying for all the talent bitching and complaining about their spots, not getting to be in the same spot as a CM Punk or Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns. He made it a point to where those guys are selling merchandise, so therefore that's why they're in the spot that they're in. If you want a spot, earn it. So do with that information what you will. But I feel that it is utterly ridiculous for. I think Dominic deserves better. Am I saying that Dominic deserves to be a world champion? No, but he had no business jobbing to Danhausen. Like, come on, at SummerSlam, no.
None.
So I had a major problem with that. If I had seen that in real time, that would have brought down my letter grade significantly for the event. Maybe not significantly, but at least a smidgen. Chad Gable winning the IC title, good for him, great for him actually. SummerSlam does not need to be 2 nights.
Agreed.
That's my biggest takeaway.
No.
They started this 2-night shit with SummerSlam. Yes.
Yeah. No more 2 nights, man.
They started this 2-night shit with SummerSlam last year in Jersey. And I guess it worked for last year, but it was abundantly clear that this event does not need to be 2 nights. Because if that's all you're going to give us for an entire weekend, you might as well should have just had a 4-hour event with like 8 matches. I would have preferred that. So that at least you can enjoy the experience and it feels bigger as a whole. It when you have 2 nights, sometimes it just feels more scattered than anything else. They may even want to consider having WrestleMania going back to 1 night. I don't know. That's a whole different topic, but I don't think that SummerSlam needs to be 2 nights anymore, so they ought to consider that for next year when they announce the location. Now, something interesting that I read online that somebody had pointed out, well, a couple of people had pointed out that they never announced the attendance.
Nope.
The live
attendance. The attendance, man. Nope.
So I think Dave Meltzer had said possibly the reason why they were doing it was because they know that AEW All In London already has sold more tickets, which was like 40-something thousand, maybe close to 50,000. So it was more than each night for SummerSlam. So it might have been one of those strategies on WWE's part where it was like, let's not even bring attention to the audience because it's nothing to ride home about.
Yeah.
It's nothing to gloat about. It's not an impressive feat. Like collectively for both nights, you probably had a total attendance of like 70,000, which is crazy, considering that it is it's really your second biggest event of the year. So it'll be interesting how they approach the next big PLE, which is, I mean, if you count Money in the Bank, or if you don't count Money in the Bank, rather, it would be Survivor Series. Yeah. So it'll be interesting because Survivor Series is just 1 night, so they might be able to push tickets a little easier for that. And I do plan on being in attendance for it. So I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to see what the trajectory is like. And I know we're going to get into Raw because I very much enjoyed Raw. And I haven't said that about WWE in a long, long time. So I was intrigued for the most part. You got some good returns and it provided good hooks. And that's something that WWE had been missing with their presentation of Raw on a weekly basis as of late.
Yeah. Well, listen, fellas, good segue into this, Lou, because we got to talk about Raw. All great points about SummerSlam. I don't think either of us are wrong about our assessments. It's our personal assessments, but also we're talking about some fact here. And what just can't be denied is that, 2 nights for this type of event with what you gave us, like Lou just ended with, I don't know if it's necessary anymore. I would love to see this in an arena again, pack the arena, make it 7-8 matches, and just go all out, balls to the wall, like just kill it in that arena. And I think you would get a lot more positive reaction and better matches out of that. But but WWE's all about the money. They're just all about the money. So we'll see. But fellas, we had a solid Raw after SummerSlam. And for all of our listeners who have stuck by this show, they have called us AEW Radio. I've read comments calling us AEW Radio. I'm not mad at it.
Wow! Wait! They called us AEW Radio. I think that is a compliment.
Homeboy on YouTube said, "Yo, I'm listening to AEW Radio now." I was like, "Well,
let's go."
If they got the check,
TK signed the check.
If they got the check, we're talking all AEW all the time, baby. But some of us called it, But listen, we're showing some love to WWE, and specifically Raw after SummerSlam was actually pretty solid. Fellas, I got to tell you right now, what I loved is that Bron looks like he's coming out. This is his coming out party. He faced Oba in an intense stare down. Yeah. He had that awkward backstage moment where Heyman was like, "Yo, that's your boy now? Like, that's your boy?" Like, Bron needs to be positioned as a massive threat and a massive star. So I like what they're cooking up with Bron. My girl Becky's back. Becky Lynch made a return. Becky's out here. She wants the title again. She doesn't want that Intercontinental Championship, which she did make famous. If it wasn't for her, you might as well. I don't know. You might as well throw it on Julia. I'm sorry, Julia. No, you're getting strapped. You're getting hit with this one, but you might as well put it on Julia because it wouldn't have mattered. But that Intercontinental title now actually is meaningful. It means something. But she's back in the fold. And then your girl's back. Stephanie Vaquer is back. Made her triumphant return after some months away. And then, her and Becky have this nice intense stare down. Who knows what that could look like, which I loved. Just a lot of good things and a lot of good cliffhangers / hooks, like these, like, hey, what's going to happen next? Or it leaves you intrigued, what to wait, what to look out for. They did a really good job with that. And I got to tell you guys, I'm sorry. I hate to do this. I really hate to do this. But Royce Keys is getting no pop from that crowd. I don't even know if they know who he is or where he's from, his background. I don't know. I just think they thought it was just this big black dude came down to the ring and just started wrestling. Like, I don't know if they even know who he is. He got no love for Royce. Royce put down the formulaic straps for no reason and got no pop from that. And I gotta say, the match wasn't terrible. Him and Jacob worked well together. Just no one was checking for Royce. They're going to have to do some massive work with Royce. They just need to feed people to him and do some sort of ride back and stop it before it gets too much ride back. And then you could throw some big names at him and, make some, some competitive matches. But overall,
I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think, and I hate to.
What happens when you
take
the money? This is what happens when you take the money. You don't think. You just don't think, man. Your development, yes, but I blame AEW also. They really didn't. They did as much as I guess they thought they could with them, but
yes, they did as more.
They did a lot more
as much as they could.
Yeah,
they gave him the TNT title at some point. Wasn't he a trios champion at one point?
The Ops.
I mean, come on. He was with the Ops. Like, sometimes it really does come back to the talent. Like, we gotta let's get focused here, gentlemen. Let's be focused. Sometimes it really does come back on the talent. You could say, because there's always this banter on the IWC, right? Like, oh, well, Tony Khan didn't book this person the right way. That was a waste of time. Or, man, Triple H dropped the ball on that person. They didn't know what to do with him. Sometimes the talent gets opportunities. Like, I do understand that WWE has dropped the ball notoriously many times. And AEW may have mismanaged or misbooked some talent that went over to WWE. That's fair. for both companies, right? That's a fair criticism.
Oh yeah.
But in the case of people like, thank God it's worked out for Andrade. I'm really happy for him. But in the case of like Aleister Black, Rusev, and I can name a whole bunch of other guys who have flip-flopped between companies, like it falls back on them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like they were given the opportunities to shine and something just didn't click. Maybe something went wrong backstage. I don't know. I don't know how high the ceiling is for formerly Powerhouse Hobbs. I just don't know. I don't see it, man. I don't.
Yeah.
I got to give it some more time, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
Well, Lou, speaking of Hobbs and whatnot, what was your overall thoughts on this past Monday Night Raw, bro? What'd you think?
I thought it was very good, and I don't care. Look, tuning into Raw for me for the majority of 2026 has been like I don't give a damn. Like I got better things to do on a Monday night. That's just how, and it's sad because I'm a lifelong WWE fan, but that's just it's gotten to that point. But after SummerSlam, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tune into Raw. I'm gonna tune in because I just want to see. That's just the lifelong fan in me being cautiously optimistic that I might be amused or entertained, and I was. Was it like, my favorite episodes of Monday Night Raw ever? No, but like it was cool seeing Big Cass return. It was great seeing Stephanie Vaquer. Yeah. You know how I feel about Stephanie Vaquer.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were good set. That promo that Becky Lynch cut on Liv Morgan was good.
Mm-hmm.
The very end, the whole exchange with Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns. He's trying to bring him into AAA for an appearance or whatever they're gonna do there. Royce Keys foaming at the mouth. Jacob Fatu about to put his ass in the hospital and go back to his dancing.
He almost killed him. Doing his
dance. Know, right? He killed him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. You saw the blood packets.
It was rock solid, and I feel like WWE needs to keep this type of momentum. I like when they do shit like this where it's not so predictable, and you just have an overall fun show. So there really isn't much to critique with this show. Even the Roman Reigns and LA Knight segment was pretty good too. Roman Reigns needs another challenger, somebody fresh, somebody different, right? So, and LA Knight is over. So, man. Look, I give credit where credit is due. I shit on WWE a lot, but I will praise them when they get it right. And this week's Raw, they got it right.
They got it right. Joel, did Raw get it right? Or is Lewis tripping? What's your thoughts, man?
Nah, I agree. I think it was a good episode of Raw. I mean, it wasn't like a game-changing episode or nothing like that. It's nothing like crazy that happened, but it was good stuff. Like Lewis said, they actually hooked us for the next week. I'm intrigued on where things go. I'm intrigued to see where Bron and Oba end up. I'm intrigued to see where Becky, Liv, and Stephanie end up, and Roman and LA Knight. Like all these things were good things. And I will say, when it comes to Royce Keys, he might not be over yet, but he's in a pretty good position, man. Being in these main event spots with the bloodline, like he's not in the worst spot. Let's see what happens. It seems like they're writing him off for a little bit, right? Like with that attack at the end. So maybe he comes back to a big pop. Sometimes the best thing is to just let someone go away for a little bit. I think that's kind of the formula in WWE. Like, look at all the people that returned, right? Like Stephanie Vaquer, she was gone for 4 months. Becky was gone for 2 months, but they get these huge pops just because they were gone for a couple of months. And I think that's kind of what we're going to see a lot going forward. I think they're like swapping talent in and out, giving talent breaks, and then letting the big return pop like Randy Orton coming out in SummerSlam and Kevin Owens coming out. It makes sense. You rest your big stars for a little bit, let them come back, and they get a huge ovation. And it kind of lets you slide with creativity a little bit. Like instead of being like, let me make an actual story, we'll just do a return, and that's enough And hey, it works. It works because, like we mentioned about SummerSlam, it's all about moments now, right? And the moments are the returns now. So yeah, we had Stephanie come back, we had Becky come back, we had Big Cass come back. So it felt like a Raw after WrestleMania, which was good, like, so I think it was solid. And it's funny enough because last SmackDown last week was actually good too. I remember coming in thinking about talking about that as well. So the TV has been pretty good. I think they're riding a good momentum, and the talent is there. The talent is there, so it's not that hard. Like, you have a great roster, like really good roster. So like, it's literally just plug and play at this point. So I'm hoping they keep riding this momentum, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if it's maybe we're ramping up towards WrestleMania already. So like, they're trying to figure out where things are going to land. So like, things are going to get a little exciting. I do think WWE, if you pay attention, then they kind of tell you where the big matches are heading. And I think that stare down between Becky and Stephanie, it feels like a WrestleMania stare down. So I could see them two being a WrestleMania match next year. And then maybe same thing with Brock and Oba. I mean, Oba and Bron. Maybe that's a WrestleMania match. Like, it seems like they're setting up little seeds for down the line. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens for sure.
Yeah, man. Listen, I here at On the Mark Wrestling, man, we give our flowers. Give our flowers. WWE, listen, it's been weeks since we've shown you some love. But but this week you came through a little bit. We still expect more, though. I mean, my God.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we could be talking about. This is just good. I mean, this ain't great. We're saying, like, there's more to be done. Go ahead.
It's the floor is so low that, like, we're gonna praise like the bare minimum of a show that actually hooks you. like literally what every episode should be like. But yeah, we're excited to. I mean, like we all say, we all are lifelong fans of this thing, so we want it to be good at the end of the day. We don't want it to be bad. Yes, we talk shit, but we talk shit because we love it and we want it to be good. So hey, just give us more of this, continue this momentum, ride the wave. And yeah, like I said, you have the talent, so just ride the wave.
Ride the wave. Fellas, listen, man, something big happened in wrestling news. I don't know if we believe. I mean, I guess we should believe it fully, or maybe not. I don't know if we're being worked. But the great Brock Lesnar announced his retirement officially from I guess all in-ring action. I think it was on the Pat McAfee show he did this. Fellas, do we believe that Brock is gone? Even for a Saudi check, is Brock gone? What's your thoughts?
I think he's gone for real. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of commentary following his match with Oba that he was looking a little gassed at certain points in the match. That he wasn't looking quite animalistic or beast incarnate like the way he used to be. He still looks like a beast, obviously, because of his stature and his physique. But we got to remember, he is on the cusp of 50 years old. So Jesus. He made his interview with Pat McAfee was very much a sincere one, where he kept on mentioning his kids, wanting to do more things like hunting and just wanting to really live life. He's a middle-aged man now, and his body just can't take that amount of punishment anymore. And he doesn't want to be in a situation where 10, 15 years from now, he's all banged up and he can't have the same quality of life like most people. So it came across like something legitimate, like he's actually done. And if that's the case, props to him. How many motherfuckers in the history of professional wrestling can have that sort of impact, perform at that level, and secure a bag all at the same time? Like, holy shit. This guy had a mammoth run for 2 years. That was it. 2 years. And he was at the he was at the top, at the very top, and he left at the top of his game. Tried the whole football thing, didn't work out. But had a very successful UFC career. Wasn't super long, but very successful.
There he is.
Yo, I
Show and tell.
Holy
Show
shit.
and
Hold
tell.
that up again, Joel.
Hold that up. Hold on, Joe.
I absolutely love that, and I need that belt in my collection. But that's the Brock Lesnar that I fell in love with.
This is the 2-year run that you mentioned right there.
Yes, 2002 to 2004, right there. But I love Brock Lesnar. I will always defend Lesnar. Motherfuckers would look at me like I was crazy a couple of years ago when I would put him in my top 10 of all time. I think I still stand on that. He's still in my top 10 of all time. When it comes to the performance aspect, the aura, I hate fucking using that word. But anyway, but yeah, like just you are not. It is very hard to find big guys in this business that can do what he does. And Ric Flair said this best back in like 03 or 02 when Lesnar had first risen to superstardom, that Brock Lesnar is a specimen, and that's exactly what he is. He's a freak. Like the amateur background, he just moves very fluidly in the ring. And I know that he eventually, during his second run with the company, he became like a one-trick pony with like the constant suplexes and stuff. But you definitely went out of your way to see a Brock Lesnar match, and he always got a monster reaction. So that goes back to my first point. How many guys in the history of this business can check off all of those boxes and accomplish all of those things? Main event of WrestleMania, winner of multiple Royal Rumbles, King of the Ring winner, Money in the Bank. He's gone toe-to-toe with the absolute best of the best.
He ended the Undertaker streak.
Yeah. Oh my God. Who could have forget that? I completely left that part out. The first guy to pin Undertaker at WrestleMania. And I know it's kayfabe, but like, Lesnar's the man, yo. Like, he's the man.
Joel, what's your thoughts, man? Brock retires, man. I saw you. You held up the action figure.
Yeah, everything Lewis said, I agree with. Definitely a Hall of Fame career. I don't know if he's top 10 for me. I would have to. Yeah. I definitely don't think he's top 10. But this Brock Lesnar right here, I don't think he ever reached these heights again. And I think this was my favorite Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
I didn't like the Suplex City stuff. It was very one trick, like you said. But that Brock Lesnar run, I don't think we, as fans, at least for me growing up, I didn't see anything like that until that happened. Like, I didn't see someone come into the company, automatically get shot to the top. It's almost very similar to Oba Femi, which is great that this is like the passing of the torch. But like Brock, in his first year, going toe to toe with The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, like anybody who was a main event player, they threw him in there and they let him get a win over all of these top stars. And I had never seen anything like that. And I was a kid, so this was like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? And he wasn't like an indie wrestler, so it wasn't like we had heard about him really. He came up from the system. He came up from like collegiate wrestling and football and all this stuff, and just natural in the ring. Incredible. The things he was doing too, like I've never seen it. The F5. We never saw the F5 until Brock Lesnar came out. Like that is
such a terrific finishing move.
Yeah, seeing that move as a kid, being like, yo, he just threw him like a tornado. Like as a kid. And then I remember that, I think it was SummerSlam where they had the commercial where he was doing it to a shark. And I was like, I always remember that as a kid being like, yo, this guy is so cool. So it was just awesome. I always have like that what if. Like, what if he would have stayed? What if he would have stayed with the company? Where would he have been? Would he have been the John Cena? Because he was basically positioned to be the next top guy. I don't know if he would have had the same microphone chops that a John Cena has, or, he might not have been as beloved by the fans, but him as just like a top guy for all those years that he was gone would have been incredible to see. So I do always think about that when I think about Brock Lesnar, and I think that probably brings him down in my rankings. But at the end of the day, there is never going to be another Brock Lesnar. So yeah, you could hate on him and all the stuff that he's, done throughout the years and stuff. But at the end of the day, he is a once in a lifetime genetic freak type of talent. And yeah, he's Brock Lesnar. What else do you have to say? Bro. Like, he's literally like, you hear the name and it brings fear, right? Like if someone says it in WWE, you say it in WWE television, and it's like, no one messes with fucking Brock Lesnar. So like, yeah, it's gonna be weird to see him not do this anymore. I don't, like Lewis said, I don't know if he'll come back, maybe for a one-off here and there, but it does kind of seem like from the interview that he gave on Pat McAfee, it seems like he just wants to like chill and like think about it. All these years of him having to like stay in shape and do all this stuff, even if it's like a one-off appearance, he still has to look good, right? So like he could never just let himself go. I'm sure he probably just wants to let go, be fat, drink some beer, watch his kids grow up, and that's it. Like
hunt, all that stuff. Yeah, he just wants to be Brock for it,
So Godspeed, Brock Lesnar.
Give it up for Brock Lesnar, y'all. The great Brock Lesnar. Legend, will be missed. But fellas, this has been a solid show, man. We got to talk about a little SummerSlam recap. Talked about the Raw after SummerSlam, some exciting moments, the moments that we were high on, the moments that we were low on. But overall, we enjoyed mostly what WWE did. Just again, let's keep doing it. Right, don't tease us with Monday, and then it just goes back to the same old. But we'll see what SmackDown looks like, because now SmackDown needs to respond. We need to know why Orton did what he did.
Kevin
we
Owens.
need to know who Punk is gonna who's the next guy that wants to get at Punk. We need some answers. What happens to Cody? Does Cody meet Randy head on, or what is next? So we'll see. Come Friday for SmackDown. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 143 of On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
You have just listened to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, a Scriptly adapted production. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at On the Mark Wrestling. And email us on onthemarkpodcast@gmail.com.